Asterisk, what would you sacrifice for love? When worlds collide and hearts connect, can true feelings overcome the barriers of wealth and status? Join us on this emotional journey, asterisk. If you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartfelt tales that will touch your soul. Your support means everything to us. The rain poured mercilessly over the cracked pavement of downtown Westbrook, where luxury high-rises cast long shadows over the struggling neighborhoods below. Amelia Richardson stood under the awning of a small coffee shop, cursing herself for forgetting her umbrella despite the weather forecast. Her designer dress clung uncomfortably to her skin, and her perfectly styled hair now hung in damp strands around her face. The daughter of real estate mogul Victor Richardson was far from her comfort zone, having ventured into this part of town for a photography project she'd been passionate about, capturing authentic city life beyond the sanitized walls of her privileged existence. Inside the modest coffee shop, Noah Parker wiped down counters with practiced efficiency, occasionally glancing at the beautiful stranger taking shelter outside. He'd seen her type before, wealthy, entitled, probably slumming it for some college assignment before returning to her penthouse. Yet something about her expression, a mixture of frustration and vulnerability, made him pause. When the rain intensified and she hugged herself tighter, Noah grabbed a spare umbrella from behind the counter and walked outside. "You look like you could use this," he said, extending the umbrella toward her. "It's not much, but it'll keep you dry until you can call your driver or whatever." Amelia looked up, startled by both his gesture and the slight edge in his voice. "Thank you, but I don't have a driver. I took the bus here." Noah raised an eyebrow, clearly skeptical. "The bus? In those shoes?" She laughed, a genuine sound that surprised them both. "I'm not very good at this, am I? I'm Amelia." "Noah," he replied, his initial judgment softening slightly. "Look, the rain isn't letting up anytime soon. Why don't you come inside? Coffee's on me." That rainy afternoon marked the beginning of something neither could have anticipated. Amelia returned to the coffee shop the following week, and the week after that. She found herself drawn to Noah's straightforward nature, his lack of pretense, and the passion with which he spoke about his dreams of opening a community center for underprivileged youth. He worked 3 jobs to save money while putting himself through night school, determined to create a better life through his own efforts. For Noah, Amelia wasn't what he'd expected. Beyond her expensive clothes and privileged background, he discovered a woman struggling to define herself outside her father's shadow. Her photography revealed a sensitive eye for beauty in unexpected places, and her questions about his life and neighborhood showed genuine interest rather than voyeuristic curiosity. "Why do you keep coming back here?" Noah asked one evening as they walked through a local park after his shift. "This isn't exactly your scene." Amelia stopped to look at him directly. "Maybe I'm tired of my scene. Maybe I'm looking for something real." Their first kiss happened under the glow of street lamps, a moment of perfect understanding between two people from vastly different worlds. Neither spoke of the challenges ahead, they simply allowed themselves to feel, to connect, to hope. As weeks turned into months, they created their own bubble, carefully navigating between their separate realities. Amelia told her father she was working on an extended photography project, while Noah's friends teased him about his uptown girl. They found joy in simple pleasures, cooking dinner in Noah's tiny apartment, exploring hidden corners of the city, sharing dreams under starlit skies. But reality has a way of intruding on even the most beautiful dreams. The bubble burst on a crisp autumn evening when Victor Richardson's sleek black car pulled up outside the community center where Noah volunteered. Amelia had been helping with an art program for local children, her camera capturing their proud smiles as they displayed their creations. "Amelia," her father's authoritative voice cut through the cheerful chaos. "I've been trying to reach you for hours." The room fell silent as all eyes turned toward the imposing figure in the expensive suit. Noah immediately recognized Victor Richardson from news coverage, the man whose development projects had displaced countless families from this very neighborhood. "Dad," Amelia said, her voice small but steady. "What are you doing here?" "I think the better question is, what are you doing here?" "Your mother is worried sick. We had dinner plans with the Harringtons. James has been asking about you." Noah watched the color drain from Amelia's face. James Harrington, heir to a banking fortune and, apparently, someone her parents considered suitable company. "I lost track of time," she said, moving protectively toward Noah. "Dad, this is Noah Parker." "He's—" "I know exactly who he is," Victor interrupted, his gaze coldly assessing. "The barista from that coffee shop you've been frequenting. My security team has been quite thorough." The revelation that her father had been having her followed hit Amelia like a physical blow. Noah stepped forward, extending his hand. "Mr. Richardson, it's good to meet you. Amelia has told me a lot about you." Victor ignored the outstretched hand. "Has she told you about her trust fund? About the Richardson Foundation she's set to inherit? About her responsibilities to our family name?" "Dad, stop it," Amelia pleaded. "No, Amelia. This has gone far enough. Whatever little adventure you're having ends now. Get in the car." Noah felt the eyes of the children on them, witnessing this painful collision of worlds. "Mr. Richardson," he said quietly, "with all due respect, Amelia is an adult capable of making her own decisions." Victor's laugh was sharp and dismissive. "Young man, you have no idea what you're involving yourself in. My daughter has opportunities and obligations you couldn't begin to comprehend. This," he gestured around the modest community center, "is not her life." "Maybe I want it to be," Amelia said, finding her voice. "Maybe I'm tired of galas and board meetings and being paraded in front of suitable bachelors. Maybe I want something meaningful. And you think you'll find that with him?" Victor's voice dripped with disdain. "A man who can barely support himself, let alone you. This isn't a movie, Amelia. Real life doesn't work that way." The drive back to the Richardson estate passed in tense silence. Once home, Victor unleashed the full force of his disapproval. He reminded Amelia of her privileged education, of the doors that had been opened for her, of the responsibility she carried as a Richardson. Her mother, Caroline, offered sympathetic glances but ultimately sided with her husband. "Darling, your father only wants what's best for you," she said, patting Amelia's hand. "Noah seems like a nice young man, but you come from different worlds. These differences may seem romantic now, but they become real obstacles in time." Amelia retreated to her childhood bedroom, feeling like a prisoner in what had once been her sanctuary. Her phone buzzed with messages from Noah, each one a lifeline she clung to as she contemplated her future. For Noah, the confrontation with Victor Richardson had been illuminating. He'd always known about the wealth gap between himself and Amelia, but seeing her father's contempt firsthand made him question whether their relationship could survive such opposition. He worked double shifts at the coffee shop, trying to lose himself in the rhythm of brewing and serving, but Amelia's absence left a void he couldn't ignore. A week after the confrontation, Noah received an unexpected visitor at his apartment. Victor Richardson stood at his door, looking oddly out of place in the narrow hallway with its flickering lights. "May I come in?" he asked, his tone more request than demand. Noah stepped aside, acutely aware of the contrast between his modest living space and the luxury Victor was accustomed to. "What can I do for you, Mr. Richardson?" Victor surveyed the apartment, the second-hand furniture, the stack of textbooks on the table, the framed photograph of Noah with his late mother. "I came to make you an offer," he said finally. $100,000 to end your relationship with my daughter." The words hung in the air between them. Noah felt a surge of anger, quickly followed by a deep sadness. "You really don't understand her at all, do you? I understand that my daughter is going through a phase. She's rebelling, trying to find herself. It's not uncommon. What Amelia and I have isn't a phase," Noah said quietly. "And it's not for sale." Victor's expression hardened. "Everyone has a price, Mr. Parker. Name yours. Get out, Noah said, opening the door. And tell Amelia I love her. That's something your money can't buy. After Victor left, Noah sat on his worn couch, head in his hands. He loved Amelia, her kindness, her courage, her determination to forge her own path. But was love enough to overcome the barriers between them? Could they build a future together when her family would always see him as beneath her? Meanwhile, Amelia was fighting her own battle at the Richardson estate. She confronted her father about his visit to Noah, her anger fueled by the realization that he would stoop so low. How could you try to buy him off like that? She demanded. Do you really think so little of my feelings? Of my judgment? I was testing him, Victor admitted, surprising her. And he passed, for what it's worth. He threw my money back in my face. Amelia felt a surge of pride, quickly followed by determination. I'm moving out, she announced. I love you and Mom, but I need to live my own life, make my own choices, even my own mistakes. Caroline Richardson entered the room, having overheard the conversation. Victor, perhaps we should listen to her. Amelia has always had a good head on her shoulders. Victor looked between his wife and daughter, seeing the resolve in both their faces. You want my blessing to throw away everything we've built for you? To struggle and scrape by with a man who can't provide the life you deserve? I want your blessing to find happiness on my own terms, Amelia replied. Noah doesn't need to provide the life you think I deserve, I can build that myself, with him as my partner, not my provider. The weeks that followed were difficult as Amelia moved into a small apartment of her own, taking only what she had earned through her photography. She and Noah rebuilt their relationship on more honest ground, facing their differences openly rather than hiding from them. They learned to navigate their contrasting perspectives on money, privilege, and opportunity, sometimes arguing, often compromising, always growing. Noah continued his education and work at the community center, while Amelia's photography career gained traction as she captured authentic stories of city life. They supported each other's dreams, finding strength in their complementary skills and viewpoints. Victor Richardson watched from a distance, his initial anger gradually giving way to reluctant respect as he observed his daughter's determination and independence. The final turning point came when he attended a gallery showing of Amelia's work, photographs that powerfully documented the impact of gentrification on communities like Noah's. Standing before an image of an elderly woman being evicted from her longtime home to make way for luxury condominiums, Victor felt something shift within him. The photograph forced him to see the human cost of developments like his own, to recognize the pain behind the profit margins. Your work is challenging, he told Amelia at the gallery. It makes me uncomfortable. That's the point, Dad, she replied. Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. Victor nodded slowly. Noah seems to be good for you. You found your voice. It wasn't an apology or a blessing, but it was a beginning. Over the following months, Victor made halting efforts to understand Noah's world. He visited the community center, listened to proposals for affordable housing initiatives, and eventually offered to fund scholarships for the youth programs Noah had helped establish. For his part, Noah overcame his initial resentment to see Victor as a flawed man who loved his daughter in his own imperfect way. Their relationship would never be easy, but it was built on growing mutual respect. 2 years after that rainy day at the coffee shop, Noah proposed to Amelia on the rooftop of his old apartment building, under a canopy of string lights he'd hung himself. The ring was modest, a vintage piece he'd saved for months to purchase, but the love it represented was boundless. Are you sure you want to do this? He asked as he knelt before her. Your life would be so much easier with someone from your world. Amelia smiled through her tears. Easier, maybe. But not happier. Not more meaningful. Not more real. Their wedding brought together two vastly different worlds, Richardson family friends in designer attire mingling with Noah's community center kids and coffee shop regulars. Victor Richardson walked his daughter down the aisle, whispering to her just before giving her away, "You were right to follow your heart. I'm proud of you." The journey hadn't been easy, and the road ahead would hold its own challenges. There would always be moments when their different backgrounds created friction, when misunderstandings arose from their contrasting perspectives. But in choosing each other day after day, Amelia and Noah proved that love could indeed bridge the widest divides when built on a foundation of respect, understanding, and the courage to grow together. As they danced under the stars at their reception, surrounded by the unlikely family they had created, Amelia rested her head on Noah's shoulder. "Thank you for offering me that umbrella," she whispered. Noah smiled, holding her close. "Best decision I ever made." Their story wasn't about a poor man winning a rich girl, or a wealthy woman slumming it for excitement. It was about two people who saw beyond labels and circumstances to recognize the best in each other, who challenged each other to grow, to question assumptions, to build something beautiful from the most unexpected beginning. In the end, the greatest wealth they shared wasn't measured in dollars but in the depth of their connection, the strength of their commitment, and their willingness to fight for a love that transcended the boundaries others had set for them. Remember, true connections can happen in the most unexpected places with the most unexpected people. Sometimes the greatest love stories begin with a simple act of kindness, like offering shelter from the rain. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of authentic human connection. Until next time, keep your hearts open to the possibilities that surround you every day.